Hello and welcome back. Today I am not just the same as I normally am, but that's because today Dan is going to do a bike fit on me.
Right.
In preparation for potentially a new bike. We're also going to be setting up some new shoes that Lake have just sent me. Thank you again for tuning in. It has come to our attention that the vast majority of you do not subscribe, so just a little favour, please go and subscribe, hit that little bell button, and you do us all a favour because it means we can then get more content out. So please go and subscribe and let's get cracking.
So we're just updating your fit today. So you're not having any pains on the bike at the moment, are you?
I got a little bit of a niggle in my left knee when I rode across Thailand, but I hadn't ridden a bike in 6 months.
We could start with just going over your range of motion, see what you screen that, and go from there.
I mean, I haven't had a fit in 15 years, so
It's going to be interesting.
my position's changed a little bit over the time, but yeah, it will be interesting. This is where I get put to shame. Hamstring range.
Is that what you got?
Yeah, stiff as a board, mate. Out of interest, why do you internally and externally rotate the leg?
Why do I do it?
Yeah.
Just to see what movement you got and just warm the hip joint up a little bit and just see where you are rather than just go straight up.
Yeah.
You might be cool, you might have sat down,
Yeah,
and then you just come straight in off the street.
Dan comes from a PT background, so he knows a lot more about the body than I do. 12 degrees.
Negative. So there we've got 63 out of 90.
That's
Not
great,
bad,
is
I
it?
mean, could work on it at your age.
Yeah.
I might do though, you're only
What
my
are you
age. If you just bend at the knee, just going to get that knee above the hip joint and just going to see what your hip function's like. So you've got a lot of function there. And then the internal rotation, I'd say moderate. So yeah, it's not too bad. We've got a bit of movement there, but could always be better. And then from here, just going to drive your knee into your chest just to see what your hip flexion's like. So just going to go until I feel some resistance. So as we're coming in there, I can feel that your femur wants to start coming outside your body, it start opening, it's trying to look for an easier route. So we don't have a lot of hip flexion there. So I'd say about here is where you kind of want to start. There, so we measure that out of 140 and 105. I mean, your knees can go further into your chest, but you're trying to look for an easier route. So hip flexion would be something that you could work on.
Got lunge muscle these days as well. It's weird having this stuff done. Like this that I've been doing every day for like over 10 years. It's well weird. Being the receiving end of it. So, about a month ago, Lake very quietly launched the CX239, which is the new version of the CX238. It's a new shoe from Lake. It's been slightly redesigned. I've ridden 238s for years and years and years. We basically have almost all of the stock available in the UK, and this is my pair. The revision to this is it has a one-piece tongue, which closes up around the foot a little bit better. The boa location is more or less the same, but we've got one-piece upper now. The cleat location of the sole is exactly the same. It's also a slightly better looking shoe, I think. And it's also got a narrower heel cup as well. One of the common complaints we had with the 238 was that the heel cup was a little bit wide. So this is a slightly narrower heel cup, which hopefully will work for my silly little duck feet. There we have it. I've got 170s on everything, including the mountain bike.
And you said the height as well?
69. Got little sausage dog legs.
69 bang on?
Yeah.
Drop?
I'm going to base this off my moots, which is 2.5 centimetres.
Bars 40?
Yeah. And then 65 centimetres in the reach. Setting up my new shoes.
You excited about them, James?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, me and Tom are going to go. We're going to go to Italy after this fit, and we're going to go visit Sato, and we're going to be riding some exciting stuff. They're even building you a bike just for you,
so
special.
excited.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going to be also riding. Is this under embargo? So this is in preparation for Sato. So it's going to be a very different position from what I want from the moods.
What starter?
Sorry?
Razzo?
No, it's going to be a new SATA Plus Evo, which is a kind of, obviously an evolution of Sato's kind of do everything bike. I'm going to want it more aggressive than
2.5.
2.5 centimeters. But that's mostly designed around the fact that it's a bike packing bike. You know, it's supposed to be upright. It's a gravel bike as well.
Yeah.
Looks small, doesn't it?
Looks weird. Feel like yours, yeah?
Yeah, more or less.
Shoes comfortable? That's the main thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, they're more comfortable than I thought they'd be. I quite often have problems with shoes because my feet are so wide that I quite often need to kind of almost break them in before they start feeling comfortable. But these feel pretty good straight off the bat. It's a wide fit 238. My saddle's too high.
Yeah, so, I mean, if we're looking at that, what do we see? There's a lot of movement going on in the hips or at the back of the bike. It's very bouncy.
Yeah.
I mean, it does look like you've got a leg extension there.
So I've always had this flexion point at the kind of, it's like lumbar thoracic junction. Yeah. It seems to be less obvious here.
Your hip flexion is on the lower end.
Yeah.
So then if you're keeping the pelvis back, knees are coming up high, you're still reaching for the bar. To me, it looks like we could look at rotating your pelvis forward a little bit and look like you're in the bike a little bit more rather than on top of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a few things to look at there, I'd say.
God, it's nuts, isn't it? Like, my saddle height's come down 4 centimetres over the years.
Has it?
Yeah. I used to run like a 73 centimetre saddle height. Now I run 69. It's still too high! Oh my God!
So you're shifting over onto the right, but the left side is tighter, so we notice that the internal rotation is lower, or there's less range in the left side and less hip flexion.
Yeah.
Which would then explain why you sit on the saddle more on one side to the other.
Huh. That's nuts.
And then from the front, yeah, just...
So there was more extension in the left leg than there was in the right? God, I do basically everything that I tell people not to do.
But your ass looks like you're eating the saddle.
Yeah.
So... It just doesn't look like there's a point in the bike where you're stable. Like there's a lot of movement going on. Feet, I don't think the feet look too bad. I mean, they're pretty planted, but they're coming from, you've not had issues with your feet before. We've just dialed them in the same as what you exist in 238s, 242 were. I say we play around with the back of the bike, get it feel a bit more planted.
Yeah.
And then go from there. Move towards the front of the bike. There's a few things I want to look at.
How can my saddle be like 20 mil too high still?
Jump off the bike. Stand there. Okay. So let's widen the stance first.
Oh, what is that all about? Is that a pocket? I could put stuff in this. It's great. I could put my donuts in here. All the donuts that I eat. Cheese and ham croissants.
Right, so widen the stance here because we know that you're limited on that internal rotation. So I just wanted to start with that just to see how that is. I mean, your stance is quite wide, the way you stand.
Yeah.
So I'm just interested to notice any difference on the stance? I mean, you ride mountain bike as well, though, don't you?
To be honest with you, mate, no, not really.
But you ride different disciplines, right? So you're used to...
Yeah, exactly. So my mountain bike, I've got a mountain bike, got a gravel bike, a road bike. And my road bike's got Campag on it as well, which is narrower than Shimano.
Just get out the saddle, then back in. Out the saddle and reset.
That feels better.
Yeah. Why does it feel better?
Less weight on the hands.
Yeah.
Feels smoother.
Feel like you're sitting at a different part of the saddle?
Saddle feels, sort of, saddle feels less, like there's less pressure there.
Yeah.
It's gone down, hasn't it? How much do you drop it by?
Knocked the saddle down 5 mil and knocked your setback back. You're more even on the saddle now.
Look at that.
Yeah, so that's better.
And with an increase in stance, right?
Yeah, increase the stance as well, so we've moved more room in the hip.
Oh, you got me on a long axle pedal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So long axle pedal, I wanted to see how that is. Oh. But now what we can do is so you look better on the saddle now, so now we can go back in and then we can see what works.
Yeah.
So now if we go back into the other pedals and see if it knocks you back, closing the hips back up, but moving you further back, stabilises the hips a little bit more.
Yeah.
Pelvic line is in a better position as well in the new position. I'm now just interested to see if I put James's stance back in, so on the standards from my pedal, and see if it creates an imbalance again on the saddle pressure mapping on his left and right, after we've made the adjustments to the setback and saddle height.
Yeah, I think this feels a bit harder.
It's still better with that setback, but you're now sitting heavier again on the left and the right. It's not as even, but it's harder, but it sounds more laboured on the machine. So I just brought your stance back in. So if we
So wider stance then?
Wider stance. So
who'd have thunk it?
Right, let's go back to that then. And then.
Huh. Oh, so we'll get new pedals as well. Now, this is now all of my customers feel like. Oh, for God's sake, I thought it was all right.
Right, if you jump back on.
That immediately feels better. So annoying. So I think this is like a prize example of why, even if you don't get any pain, which I don't really, you know, a little bit of a niggle in the knee every now and then when I'm doing really like long rides, which is almost never these days, but you know, this feels better. I guess you don't know what you don't know. And you know, if you don't have a position analysed fairly regularly, you end up getting stuck in a rut. I've just kind of been given autonomy to mess around with my position to my heart's content. Yeah, interesting.
I still think you could rotate the pelvis forward more, right? So, and it looks like the more you feel you're scrunched up, you look scrunched up, you're a bit like that at the front. Now, moved your setback back, moved you back further away from the bottom bracket and moved your saddle down, you feel more stable. Pressure map is showing that you're more stable, widen the stance, but the more we move you forward, your pelvis is still going to be sitting back. You don't have loads of hip flexion, so play around with the cranks and just see what that does and see if it allows you to sort of get over the front of the bike more, and it might feel like you're more in the bike or towards the front, potentially.
All right, sounds good to me. Right. That feels easier again. I feel smoother actually more than anything else.
I mean, to me, that's better in the saddle.
Oh yeah. There's less pressure overall, isn't there?
Yeah, so there's less pressure overall, but you're rolling forward, and I like to see it on the saddle. It's quite symmetrical.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's shorter cranks for everyone. No. It's normally better, like if someone doesn't notice it as much, if they do jump onto a gravel bike or a mountain bike. But it might make you feel like you can probably come out just a little bit more.
Yeah.
And dropping you down here doesn't feel like the pressure's just as much in your hands.
Yeah.
Doesn't look as cramped.
No.
I mean, it isn't. We've stretched you out more, but it looks more comfortable. From the front, it doesn't look as bad. Like, I mean, your saddle has lower, but then it's kind of, well, it's in a similar position really, isn't it, with the crank change.
It's not a million miles away, is it? Look at the upper back. The difference is huge.
But like
and the power's higher now.
Yeah.
Resistance is higher. That looks better.
We're kind of putting you in a position where everyone thinks that we're coming shorter and higher.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've gone longer and lower.
There's still that spinal flexion, but I mean that's...
Yeah, but your posture is...
Yeah, I stand like that. But yeah, interesting. Nice.
I like it.
Good state of me. I've been here for an hour. Okay.
I mean, that's small tweaks. I mean, what have we done? We've widened your stance, we've moved you back further away from the bottom bracket, lowered your saddle, well, similar now with the decrease with the crank length shortened, which has allowed your reach and drop to come down a bit more. You say it feels more comfortable, I think it looks better. If you want to jump off, we'll measure it and see how different it is to where your fit is. Is that alright? Yours before was?
690.
690, and now you're on 693.
So slightly higher saddle height.
Yeah, slightly higher. But leg extension's better.
Oh, shorter crank as well, though, right?
Yeah, shorter crank.
Yeah. I got you.
Reach
69 on that part on that saddle.
70.6.
65. No, I went from 65. So that's at 70.6.
Yeah. And your drop was 2.5, wasn't it?
Yeah.
4.6.
So 5. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So back end's further back, front end's further out. It's come down. Sweet.
Widen the feet.
Wider at the feet. That's
Yeah.
the biggest surprise to
Yeah,
me.
that was a big difference, yeah.
So there you have it. If you tinker with fit over time, it sometimes requires a bit of a resetting. I've sort of made myself shorter and taller over time. So yeah, really good. So thank you for watching. Thank you for Dan. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you do subscribe, you'll get notifications of when a new video lands. They will probably be featuring Dan. If you want to see more Dan, drop a comment in the comment section below. And we'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye now.